Now, you can downvote this video all you want, but the simple fact of the matter is it's a politician's job to pretend to care about something other than power and profit precisely to gain more of each. And I don't care what politician you're talking about. They all dangle from the strings of their banking and corporate masters, and their actions prove it. So remember, when you're supporting them and when you're voting for them, you're really voting for the banksters. People ask me all the time, "Hey Brian, do you really use that keto elevate stuff, and does it really work?" The answer is yes and yes. Never in my entire life have I lost body fat so quickly. Not even in my prime at 25, which is over 25 years ago. I'm approaching 54 this year. If you want to support the channel and do your health a favor, grab some with my link in the description.
And just in case you forgot what the cult of personality looks like, here's Trump waving to a crowd of just loving supporters. And before you call me a liberal retard, same thing with Biden. People love Biden. It's like, oh my gosh, you can do no wrong. Or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Oh my God, I got to see Nancy Pelosi today. Oh, she's just a beautiful person as she takes away our rights and increases her own wealth at the expense of others. Same thing with Donald Trump. What do you got against Donald Trump, man? Things were way better under Donald Trump. Look, now our gas prices are going through the roof because that stupid, geriatric guy that they got as president right now. Guys, all this stuff has a cumulative effect. This guy right here spent $6.2 trillion of our posterity's time and laboring energies to give to the big pharma cartel, and declared himself the father of the VAXXs. He's the one that said the VAXX wouldn't even be around if it wasn't for me. Well, and then you're going to applaud this? You're going to applaud, I like take the guns first, due process second, bump stock bans, red flag laws, civil asset forfeiture, increasing the coffers of the military industrial complex and the prison industrial complex. You're really going to applaud that? Because when you're applauding Trump, you're applauding that. You're going to applaud the guy who was bailed out back in the 90s by Rothschilds Inc. with Wilbur Ross at the helm. And then 25 years later, when he becomes the president, he makes Wilbur Ross, the Zio bankster employee from the Rothschilds Inc., to be the commerce secretary. You really want to do that? Look at this. Let's start a chant for our beloved leader. Might as well be saying, we want tyranny, we want tyranny, we want tyranny. We want to be ruled by a political parasite, a puppet of the banksters. Yeah, Trump's a puppet of the banksters. Biden's a puppet of the banksters. So is Bush. So is Obama. Second verse, same as the first, guys. And it's so funny how people can be deceived when the puppet comes off the hand and another puppet replaces it, but it's still the same hand. It's still the same bankster corporate hand. $6.2 trillion? Get the F out of here. And just to show you that Fox News is the same as CNN, is the same as MSLSD, is the same as ABC, here you got Laura Ingraham and former CIA director, although can you be former? Once you were in the CIA, don't you always basically stay a part of the group, part of that little family over there? The little family of spooks at the CIA who are always working against the interests of Americans. Former CIA director James Woosley, he was from 93 to 95. And Laura Ingraham joke about military-industrial complex intervention in foreign wars and in foreign matters, which cost the lives of innumerable innocent people in the name of spreading democracy. And they forget to mention that, oh yeah, the banksters control us. Listen to how sickening this is.
Under their wing.
Have we ever tried to meddle in other countries' elections?
Oh, probably. But it was for the good of the...
Probably. Have we meddled in the affairs of other countries? That's what foreign intervention is, guys. That's what the CIA is all about, is meddling in the affairs of countries that aren't the United States. Oh, yeah, I think, listen to the question again, listen to the answer.
Under their wing.
Have we ever tried to meddle in other countries' elections?
Oh, probably, but it was for the good of the system in order to avoid the communists from taking over. For example, in Europe, in 47, 48, 49, the Greeks and the Italians, we
don't do that now, though. We don't mess around in other people's elections, Jim.
Only for a very good cause.
Can you do that? Do a Vine video on a former CIA director.
Only for a very good cause in the interests of democracy.
All right, thanks for being here.
Only in the interest of democracy. We only execute tyranny upon millions of people in foreign lands for the sake of democracy. And if they don't want democracy, then we're going to force it down their throat with the U.S. military-industrial complex. And Laura Ingraham and James Woosley just sit here and laugh about it. Oh, it's so funny that trillions of dollars and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives are spent. Do we intervene in foreign elections? Listen to this guy. Don't make me lie here on TV like I already did. Okay, Laura Ingraham. God love you. Oh, speaking of God love you, let's close with this right here. This guy's actually going to say, defending freedom will have costs for us as well. Talking about this thing going on with Russia and Ukraine, whatever's going on over there. And here at home, it's going to have costs for us here at home. We need to be honest about that. Well, we've been waiting for you to be honest, creepy Uncle Joe.
Defending freedom will have cost for us as well, and here at home. We need to be honest about that. But as we do this, I'm going to take robust action to make sure the pain of our sanctions is targeted at the Russian economy, not ours.
First of all, the pain of our sanctions, we're going to make sure that the pain of our sanctions that we're going to inflict on Russia, because that's what they intend to do. Guys, when you have sanctions, sanctions is an act of war. We're going to cut off your food, fuel, medical supplies. That's an act of war. If another country imposed sanctions on us, we would take that as an act of war. What do you mean we're not going to get cargo containers anymore to put products on the shelf? What do you mean the food that we get from foreign lands isn't going to come in anymore? That you ain't doing that to America. Don't you think the Russians are going, no, I don't care who you are, superpower or not, I don't care how many nukes you got, you're not going to do that to us. Sanctions are an act of war, and for him to say defending freedom will have cost for us as well, let's translate that. The tyranny I'm about to inflict on another part of the world will cost you, but it won't cost me. It's not going to cost my family. It's not going to cost anybody in my big club, but it will cost you. So be looking for higher prices at the gas pump. Be looking for higher prices in the grocery store. They're going to go up. They can't not go up. We already dumped trillions of dollars to the big pharma industrial complex, and they don't plan on stopping. Look for another war to foment. Look for more troops to be armed. Look for the military industrial complex to be beefed up and the budget ceiling to be shattered once again. All the defense contractors are going to get another big payday coming up here real soon. When are we going to stop? When are we going to pull back the reins of this tyrannical horse, guys? When are we going to get off, take our saddle, go home and say, we ain't playing your game anymore? Elections, fraudulent elections. They keep us hanging on. It's like that song. What's that song? You keep me hanging on. They keep us hanging on by saying, oh my God, there's election fraud. Guys, the elections are a fraud. When they say election fraud, it's just fraud. They're putting fraud on top of fraud. It's fraudulent for you to declare or support somebody to exact tyranny on somebody who's not you. If you want tyranny to come upon yourself, that's one thing, but voting for tyranny in the form of Republican or Democrat, that's for somebody else, that's an entirely different thing. Oh yeah, go ahead and put shackles on my neighbor too. Go ahead and reach deeper into his pocket too. Go ahead and economically terrorizing them if they don't comply too. That's what we're doing. So what it's done is voting actually dehumanizes and demoralizes us. We become immoral by partaking in an evil system that's evil from corrupt from top to bottom. You can't get any more corrupt than the U.S. government and the system that's in play right now. So I don't know, guys. I'm going to keep this short. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police, because the global thought police are out there. The psychological operators and the social engineers are constantly at work trying to get into our minds, patent the way we move, what we look at, what our shopping and spending and buying habits are. Yeah, crisis after crisis. Never let a good crisis go to waste. They'll take that opportunity to do things they otherwise couldn't do unless you were in a crisis scenario.
Guys, we already know that they want to decimate the dollar, destroy the economy, bring us into a cashless society, and eventually make it difficult for us to even get food. That's why I constantly promote My Patriot Supply. Every chance I get, I turn my fiat currency notes into long-term storable food. This stuff is awesome. It's got a 25-year shelf life. And one thing we're all going to need is storable food. It's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. With my link in the description, you get $100 off of every order instantly. It'd be a good idea to order it while you can, because I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be able to ship this out. My link for your $100 off discount is in the description below.